Hey guys, welcome to Interviewing the Elite. This is going to be episode one, and I'm here with Mark Ling today. So Mark Ling is a very, very, very experienced marketer. So I'm happy to have you on the podcast. And yeah, welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to go over your story because you've been doing online marketing for quite a long time, and I'm well, you've got a lot of experience to share here with our audience. So yeah, tell us about your story and how you got started with doing online marketing.
Back a long time ago, when I first got started, the internet was quite a different place. Google didn't even exist.
Wow.
Most people that had a website didn't necessarily have their own .com. They would go to say geocities.com or something,
Mm.
and um, and just put up a bunch of pages and on a site that was freely hosted, but there was like enforced, like there would be a banner ad at the top of the page that you couldn't take away. You could put your own banners within the rest of the site, but it was put there, and then you'd have to figure out
Yeah.
how to get a .com up there, and there weren't internet marketing courses and stuff. And a friend of mine called Charlie, he just tried to put a site up just to see, just to test it all out, and he, for whatever reason, decided to put up a Melissa Joan Hart fan site. You know, she was Sabrina the
Yeah.
Teenage Witch back in the day, and he just put up like 5 pages. It had a biography, a filmography, some links, and a bunch of pictures that he'd found from scouring the web and screenshotting and chucking up there. And he submitted it to the search engines like Excite and Yahoo and
Yeah. Right.
Look Smart and stuff like that. And he put a banner on the site, though. Don't know what made him think of it, but he did. He put a banner on his site that said, "Want a girlfriend like Melissa Joan Hart? Click here." And it linked to an online dating site. And he got
Yeah.
paid a commission every time someone joined that network. And
Yeah, of course.
he actually made about $50 a week from that. 50 US dollars back
Oh, yeah.
then was over 100 New Zealand dollars at that time. And I was working
Yeah.
at Pizza Hut part time, earning $9 an hour. And after tax, I was getting $7 an hour. And it was taking me more than 10 hours a week to earn what he was earning by sitting there doing nothing. He'd left us sitting there for months just earning that money. And I just said, "Why haven't you got more celebrities up there? What in all of this? Do you mind if I build one of these things?" He said, "Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah, I probably should make some more." And I ended up putting 100 celebrities on my site by the end of that year, and
Oh,
was
wow.
making thousands of dollars a week by the end of the year. I had students coming in and out of my house working 10 hours a week each for me, um, because the moment I
Crazy.
was earning $150 a week, I hired a student for $10 an hour to write articles for me and research content and all of that stuff. And remember how I said that that one of the pages on Charlie's site was links? Well, I did the same thing, but we also contacted the person and asked if they would link back to us. So
Yeah.
we did that as well. This is before Google came around. We just did it so we would get clicks from the links to our site, right? Or to my
Yeah,
site.
of course.
Eventually, when Google came along, that meant that that site was instantly number one in Google for all of those things. Anyway, I started out with, you know, celebrity stuff. To be honest, the conversion rates are really low. Like you could get 1,000 visitors and get not that many clicks, but because so many people were searching for celebrity information, it was just sheer quantity of visitors that made it make money. But other niches after that I got into, like dating relationships. I went into that next. Women looking for men, men looking for women, like more specifically, as opposed to the celebrity stuff and then linking off to that. It was like straight into that niche. And then personal development. I got into dog training around year 2000, 2001. I got into language learning, learn guitar, and several other niches that did very well, like wedding speeches and other niches, like a lot of how-to type niches. And um, at first, I was the affiliate promoting other people's stuff, and then I started like getting experts on board, writers, other people, and producing really good products ourselves because we could see where the limitations were in either products we promoted or even products that you can't even promote as an affiliate, but that competitive option that's out there wasn't really that good for the internet
Mm.
as of that point in time. So Like most people learnt guitar by going through a book or something. No one had put out a course with video lessons and computer games. We made computer games that made it easier to learn the chords and learn to play by ear, so you could identify the chords and stuff. And I started investing in like paying say programmers to. I would say, hey, could you make this game? I've got this idea for a game that it'll help people read music. Like I want these musical notes to fly across the screen, and if they have to type that right key on the keyboard or click like A, B, C on the screen if they don't want to type it. And if the note gets to the end, then that's it, they're dead. But until then, they're just building up a high score. By every time they get the right note, they get points. And the closer it is to the edge, the less points they'd get. And people were playing that game and sharing it. I made that game free at first, and just have a donation, like $20 donation if you like it. And we were
Oh yeah.
making quite a bit of money from that because people were sharing the free game. But then I've made games like that, but better for guitar chords and other things, and learning piano chords, and added those as bonuses to go with those products. So it might be a video course comes with a few computer games, and that was back. I'm talking like back in the year, early 2000s. So that was
Yeah,
cutting
that's
edge stuff back
crazy.
then.
That's very
Yeah,
crazy. And I'm just like imagining like the SEO landscape back then. You could just pretty much like rank for like any keyword like weight loss, make money online. Those keywords must have been like so easy to rank
they,
because I
they
always hear stories like that, you know?
they were, but the fact is, you're only as good as what you know. And at that time, I wasn't like brilliant at for someone doing SEO. I was okay at it. I did all right.
Mm.
Actually, did reasonably well, but I wasn't like top level. I mean, I was getting traffic from a lot of sources. I was still buying traffic as well and making money. It's like spend $1, make $2. I was still buying Google AdWords when that came out. Before
Yeah.
then, I would buy from Overture. Before then, it was goto.com. I was buying from Yahoo. So still doing that as well, because if you can't get the ranking, you still want that traffic right now. But also, I would have affiliates promoting us, and we would promote other affiliates' products too. Like,
Yeah.
so I was doing a bit of everything really. Like affiliates promoting us was still quite good too, because they might have had another traffic source that was doing well. It started out like that, and then I didn't start teaching internet marketing until 2006, but that was my
Mm.
seventh. I'd already been going since 1999, so that was my seventh year online.
You had like
Um,
a lot of experience to like teach a lot of other people as well back then. So
yeah, because I remember going to a couple of marketing conferences and seeing people on stage teaching stuff, and I kind of expected, I'm doing pretty well online. I bet there's a whole ton of people doing well online, and I want to learn from them. And it was kind of interesting. Like at first I thought, wow, these guys are amazing. And then I started to get the picture that, wait a minute, these guys are only making money teaching people how to make money. They're not showing me examples. Like one of them showed me an example of a website that taught well, I won't say the niche because I don't want to like identify certain people, but it taught a
yeah,
certain
fair enough.
topic. And then I looked up his site and I'm like, that can't be making a lot of sales. And then he said he was making 3 sales a day when I quizzed him on it. Like 3 sales a day. I'm like, that's all right. But for a guy that's up there, so they're supposed to be like one of the most amazing gurus in the world. And
Yeah, I
outside of the make money
understand.
niche, you're only making 3 sales a day in a niche market. Like, I've had very, very few years where I've made more money teaching than doing, like certainly the
You got to
majority of
practice
years.
what you preach, you know? You got
Yeah,
to
like
practice what
like
you
because otherwise you do get behind like very quickly. Like people can, like you coming
people
along,
can
young
read it, you
upstart,
know?
young person can come along and you could know more than some of the gurus out there that teach people how to make money online. You might know more than them within 18 months because they are stuck
Mm.
with their old methods and haven't updated because they're making so much money teaching that they've neglected that what's got them to where they are. So it's for me it's that I've carried that into my business from there. So while a lot of people might look me up online and be like, well, they only see my name next to make money online products, actually, almost every product that I've ever made does not have my name on it. And almost every affiliate site that I've ever made does not have my name on it. And every YouTube channel, almost every one of them does not have my name on it. So you wouldn't know what I own and what I don't because you don't know, because I like to, with my niche stuff, I don't put my face out there. It's different, if that makes sense. Um, In some ways, I
Oh,
think,
for
oh,
sure.
teach me how to make money. I should have probably not put my face and name out there either. But the horse is bolted there, so so I'm there. But
Yeah,
it
yeah.
does cause people to think they know me, but then they don't know me once they find out, oh, actually, you own that website and that one 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 and that one.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Well, like you've been in this industry for quite a long time, obviously, so it's quite clear, regardless of what anyone says, that you do have a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge to like you give out. And I know, like, just from talking to you as well, you have like a couple channels with like over 100,000 subscribers. In fact, I see a silver play button behind you right there, actually. So tell
oh
us about
yeah.
that project.
Some people ask me about that and they're like, how come on your YouTube channel you've got only 1,000 subscribers? Or on one of my other ones, it's like 500 subscribers. How did you get that if you only got 500 subscribers or 1,000 or something?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's that's one of my channels that I'm just doing it. I'm doing it as a hobby. Someday it might take off, but it's different when I make a channel that I'm not the face of and I can get the staff to
Yeah.
do it and they can follow the whole process because I don't always have time to teach the stuff. So sometimes I just hit record,
Mm.
I teach it as best I can, and I get it out there. Those kind of channels they don't do as well. So I'll have less subscribers. But if it's part of a production line and it's a good process that I am not the guy giving the content, we've got someone else giving it, then we can blow up channels, into the hundreds of thousands in various niches, diabetes or, other
Mm.
niches.
Yeah, I mean, I do YouTube automation as well. I've got like a team in Pakistan, and I've got like
Oh,
a few
wonderful.
people making like a bunch of videos for me, and I've got quite a few play buttons as well. I've got Imminent HD. You guys might be familiar with that channel as well if you're watching this interview and stuff. So
Mm,
yeah, YouTube is an amazing opportunity. So much opportunity to like get lead sales, whether you're like an affiliate marketer or even just selling your own products and stuff. So it's
mm.
really cool that you're also like capitalizing on YouTube as well. So
And everyone's got to start somewhere too. Like any channel,
mm,
you don't know where someone's going to end up. Like someone could be on 500 subscribers. I have seen this many a time where I had a friend of mine go, I'm starting a YouTube channel. And YouTube's been around for a number of years. So let's say, I won't say a name, but one of my friends started a YouTube channel 2.5 years ago. And now she has several 100,000 subscribers. I know
there you go.
another,
Yeah.
yeah, and another person who used to work for me started a YouTube channel and she's just grown to over 1 million subscribers in 6 years. Again,
Wow.
you don't know where if someone's got enough passion and interest and they're doing a good enough job with it and it's a topic area that people are very curious about and if the average person would watch more of your videos because they're binge worthy,
Mm.
um, you can do very,
It's
very
amazing
well with,
opportunity.
and not just YouTube. I mean, I know that, there's TikTok, there's Facebook. I mean, there's so many different channels you can do well with. So it's quite an amazing time that we live in right now. Some people say that
Yeah, for
I have
sure.
done well because I started early, but then I say to them, okay, well, I'll introduce you to one of my students that started 12 months ago and has made $4.5 million this year. And
That's
that would be the
crazy.
top end. That is not the average. That is not the normal. I'm not saying that's what people
Yeah,
make.
yeah.
I'm just saying that it's very early, really, in the whole history of the internet right now that we are getting underway. Every year, someone just started. You'll hear of somebody that started last year and is a millionaire this year. I'm not saying you're going to make $1 million this year. I'm just saying it is a very viable business model that in 10 years from now, anybody starting today will still be considered as having started early. Because, I mean, if
Mm.
you compare it to advertising in magazines, that's been around for, let's say, 100 years. So you'd think it had
Yeah,
been
yeah.
around a long time by the 1960s, yet people were crushing it in the 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, even today from magazine ads. Yet people say that those that started in the 60s or 70s got in early. It's like, yeah, but what about the people that were in there before, the decades before? I mean, there's always um, new avenues to go down in the internet. It's like it might be harder if you try to do the exact same as what someone did in 1999. But if you're going,
Mm.
okay, but what's new today that wasn't there 2 years ago that I can capitalize on, or what's underutilized, what's a hot opportunity now for getting visitors and traffic? There are a lot more nowadays, and there are a lot more offers as the affiliate. I know that from the affiliate side, it used to be hard to find
Mm,
offers that converted that well. There weren't that many to choose from. Now there are too many to choose from that are profitable, that even if the profitable
yeah,
offer is there, I know people are making money. I know the specific individuals who are friends of mine making money, and I still don't have time to promote that offer because I've got too many on my
yeah.
plate. It's a better situation in a lot of regards.
Well, yeah, I mean that's like the problem as well, like that I have. There's almost like too much opportunity. Like I do affiliate marketing as well, and I love to promote like SaaS products or sometimes different exchanges and stuff. And
Mm.
you feel overwhelmed like trying to take it all in. So I feel like I think you'll agree with me as well. Just try to focus on like one thing at a time, and just that's probably like the best way to get started, and instead of like trying to overwhelm yourself. Because I feel like
Yeah,
that's a mistake I personally made. Just trying to do too many things at once.
and for people trying to get to their first, say, let's say, um, $2,000 a week, say, if you're
Mm,
trying to get 2,000 a week, then usually most people that get to 2,000 a week, 80% of it is made from one thing. Like
yeah,
but they might have tried three or four different things until one of them was clearly taking off ahead of the other three. So if you ever find
yeah,
yourself in that situation, don't try to fix the other three. So while if you get to $200 a week and 80% of it's coming from one thing, just that's the one that's most likely to get you to 2000. Don't worry about the other three yet. Just double down, double down, double down on that one thing, and then possibly look at other things, because once you start to get to 5,000 or more per week, then usually, unless you're happy enough to have all your eggs in one basket, it's a good idea to
yeah.
try to get to two or three things. Um, for me, I had a lot of different things, but it's not the norm. Almost every marketer that I know, that's got to $1 million a year or more has done it with less products, but a lot of back end. Whereas for me,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
done it with a lot of promoting a lot of different affiliate products and
yeah.
running a lot of my own little products as well, is sort of all added up. But that's sort of rare, and it is a bit scatterbrained. That's my bit of ADHD that just can't sit still. But it's
Well,
not the
tell us
norm.
about like, yeah, well, tell us about like some of the, if you can, of course, like some things you can't like publicly reveal, which is understandable. But like, tell us about like some of the approaches that you are working on or that you have done in the past as well. Because, like you said, you're doing like a number of different things that people aren't even going to know about. So I am kind of intrigued, and I'm sure like our audience watching this as well are going to
Yeah,
be pretty
look,
intrigued as well to like
yeah.
um learn
Well,
more about that.
a long time ago when I tried to sell my celebrity site, I
Mm,
didn't get a lawyer involved. They were people that I knew, so I thought I
mm,
could trust them. And there was a little clause in the contract that was ambiguously worded. I double checked with them how it was meant to be interpreted, but that was verbally, so that couldn't be proved.
yeah.
And as a result, I ended up basically not getting paid the majority of the money for that site. So I lost my whole business in the end. I had 10 staff at that time. This is
Jesus.
very early on, early 2000s, and
Yeah.
I had to fire everybody. I got to the point where I was minus 80,000 in lawyers' fees that I had still to pay, and another
That's
40,000
not
because I
good.
hadn't paid off my student loan yet.
Yeah.
I'd really mucked everything up. I'd blown this opportunity, and I had no website and nothing. And my lawyer said, we've never done this to anyone before, but I'm telling you, it is so clear cut that you're going to win this that we will do it for a percentage, and we won't even charge you from here on, because we want to see
Mm.
this go to court. And I said, how long will it take? They said 1 to 2 years. You will win. And I said, so what's your percentage and how's this going to work out? And it worked out that I might end up with 100,000 out of all of this, and it would take me two
Yeah.
years of stress. I said, I'm just going to mentally I'm going to give up on this. I can't put up with 2 more years of stress. So I
Yeah.
ended up
Yeah.
I got a job in a call center. And you know what? I couldn't even make a dent in that 120,000 working in a call center. Um,
Yeah.
and I ended up going, screw it. I'm going to start up an internet business again on the side. So I started one again. This time I did three different niches with three different sets of business partners. I had one doing learn guitar, learn piano, musical instrument learning, one doing dog training. That eventually we also did language learning. I know that's quite different, but they're still information products. And we did wedding speeches. And then I had another one with another friend of mine where we did wholesale sourcing and supplying with a site that's still doing very well today over at Sale Who. And anyway, I thought one of these is going to take off, right? Like,
Hmm.
I didn't realize that all three would take off. So that was
Oh,
fantastic.
there
And
you
I had my
go.
own one as well, where it's just me, where I keep on trying different info product ideas that have worked out well. Some, like in the dating relationships niche, personal development, um, how to draw manga comics, all sorts of different niches, daycare management software, and all sorts. That's just a whole lot of tester things, and that does a
Yeah.
lot of affiliate marketing in a wide variety of niches. So for that one, so all four of those companies actually took off, and so as a result of getting sort of ripped off by these other guys, I ended up possibly being a little more desperate to make things work. And
Hmm.
as a result, I was already very successful, like good 12 to 18 months into starting all of those. So, yeah, I had a bit of a pain period, but I'm probably a lot further ahead than if I had never had that situation happen to me. So I
So it's
don't
like a
actually
blessing in
hold
disguise,
grudges.
yeah?
Sorry?
Like a blessing in disguise then for you, in a sense.
Yeah. Just it's like you got
Would that
to
be the right
look in
wording?
life for silver linings.
Because like from what you're telling me, like, it was kind of like, like a extreme motivation for you. So in a sense, like I'm interpreting that as like, a blessing in disguise. Like obviously what you went through, it's definitely not good by any means, but like it just like fueled you to the next level. So you could have like not just one, but like multiple successful businesses back then. So,
Yeah, it was
you know,
very
pretty
stressful. I
inspiring.
remember being up working till 3 in the morning every night, and I still was doing university on the side and working in a call center. Like literally, just did not watch
Yeah.
television, did not have a moment of entertainment time. It's not really ideal. I don't teach people to be workaholics. That's not me right now. But it was when you're that desperate. I was just
Yeah.
basically just backs to the wall and just worked my way out of it. And um, as a result of doing that, the hard yards made life easier forever after. It meant that I could every year go to the US a couple times a year to meet up with other marketers and stuff. Because you get to know other marketers when
Mm.
you're doing well. And I take my family on vacations and stuff like that. We just went to Orlando a couple months ago. Like just from New Zealand, that's quite a big thing to be able to do things like that. I mean, but that all comes from at some point in your life you end up having a moment where you really take advantage of an opportunity that's in front of you, and then you double down and try and grow it from there. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different stories and websites, like rocketlanguages.com. My business partner was my squash coach. He didn't get
Oh,
a job
really?
it didn't get a job at Canterbury Squash that he was going for. That's the province we live in here.
Okay.
So I said, hey, how about I've got this idea for an online business. Like, why don't we ever go at that? I'll teach you internet marketing. Like, let's have a go. And this was the dog training product. And we went ahead and we made that, you know, um, film, filmed and photoed loads of different dog training lessons, got dog trainers in and stuff, and ended up making loads of sales of this dog training book and video series that focuses on stopping dog behavioral problems. But then ended up getting another idea for a language learning program that I wanted to make because what was on the market at that time was very much either textbook driven or it was a bit too much of a gimmick that didn't work that well, like try to gamify learning the language, but you couldn't really speak well in conversation. And I was like, each lesson you should be learning how to take part in a conversation, like learn one conversation every half an hour, and
Yeah, yeah.
the practice should happen while you're listening, not okay, here's some homework for you to do. People won't do the homework. Tell them to start talking now. Like the narrator would be talking and then say, now I want you to ask me blah blah blah, and it would keep on getting you to talk, you to talk, you to talk, and by the end of it you knew how to converse, like how to order food in a restaurant or how to ask for directions, or so every part of it, so it walked you through learning how to talk and converse. And then it had the computer games that would help you build the vocab, and it still had the lessons on the technical side of stuff, but they were optional because a lot of people
Mm.
just want to learn how to speak it. They don't care if they can understand how to write good grammar. And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that was a secondary, and people loved it, and it took off, and it's still a very good selling program. But at that time, it ended up getting ranked number 2 in the world by PC World magazine, which was a pretty big distinction at that moment in time, back in the early
yeah, yeah.
2000s. And I know a lot of other language learning courses ended up sort of basing their core product on what we had started with, and they went from there. Um, but yeah, like it still does well even today. Just for full disclosure, I've sold a bunch of my shares to Jason, my squash coach. So he has been the chief driver of all of it for some time now. But I still own enough of a portion that, because it's still doing well, and from all the hard work he's put in and his team, it's still paying a really good dividend every year. And I'm always grateful for that as well. But that's just an example of one of many. Talking about like learn guitar and learn piano and how to sing and how to write songwriting and wedding speeches. Would have thought writing best man
Yeah.
wedding speeches or father of the bride wedding speeches would turn into such a good business model. um, Many others how-to niches, and I've helped friends of mine. Like one of my friends was he failed almost every paper he did at university for a year and a half. And I was saying, what are you doing? You're like addicted to World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
How many hours a day are you playing? What's your world ranking? Oh, I'm number 56 in the world. Number 56? How many people play it? At that time, he said, oh, about 6 million. I'm like, number 56 out of 6 million? We can monetize this. And I taught him how to make a guide to playing World of Warcraft, how to film the videos, how to do all this stuff. And lo and behold, within a year, he was making $5,000 a week teaching people how to play World of Warcraft, and he had a business. And then he ended up paying a programmer to make his lessons appear in the game. So you'd be playing the game and you'd see the lesson pop up. I'll go attack those people over there. Next, do this. And I was like, far out. How'd you achieve that? He's like, he said, I'm not the programmer. I just asked for it. And the programmer came back with a bid on the job and they did it. I'm like, that's fantastic. And that is still like, I think the second highest selling World of Warcraft guide right now, even today. But he does even
Yeah,
better
it's
because
crazy.
he also went into other niches like selling wedding stuff and other stuff on Amazon and other places. And he's just, some people, they just need to start, and then next thing they're away. For a lot of
Well, you know
people,
what's
actually,
interesting
just
about
sorry.
the gaming niche though? Because I actually started like making money online for the first time off like gaming videos. So I actually started like doing FIFA videos. Then I eventually started doing Grand Theft Auto 5 videos. And I remember that I
Awesome.
was actually making more from like playing Grand Theft Auto 5 and uploading that to YouTube than I was like working a KFC job when I was like 15 or 16. So like it's just crazy like how, even like the gaming opportunity, like, that can be like your gateway, to other opportunities like affiliate marketing. And, when I was 18 and left like, high school, I didn't go to college or university or anything like that. I just started doing YouTube affiliate marketing and a number of different things. And now I do this for a living as well, like affiliate marketing,
It's
YouTube, all
amazing.
these different things. So
And
yeah, just getting back to the gaming thing, like, it's just crazy to hear like other people like, having
mm,
success with gaming as well.
and the niches people go into, I mean, I've touched on sort of a thin range of niches. They're all sort of info product, how to,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I have been involved in wholesale sourcing and supplying and stuff like that as well. Um, like whether it be selling camping equipment and other stuff. But in order to do that sort of stuff, it's usually like a partner with someone else. Like you almost become a really mini sort of venture capitalist. Like if you're doing well enough online and someone else has got a great idea, you go, yeah, I'll invest in that a little bit, but enough that you get
Yeah.
you might get 20% of it, and then you work with them, teach them a little bit of marketing, but they're the ones that have really done all the work. But you're still able to sort of for me, keep my fingers in a bunch of different pots that way as well.
Yeah.
And like I remember like back when iPods came out, and my business
Yeah,
partner
sure.
Simon said, "Hey, how about we? Look, we can actually order 5,000 iPods at a time. I know it costs a lot of money, but we're able to get them, and then when you sell them to like a whole store." like they'll just buy the whole lot, and I was like, wow, that's actually, I said 5,000. I should have said five. I'm pretty sure it was 500, not 5,000. Sorry, 500
Mm.
iPods at a time. But we were selling like 10 packets, so we were selling 5,000, so 10 lots of 500 to a single store, and as kind of like the wholesaler. So we're not getting the retail price, but we are still
Mm.
getting. It was a lot. Like we would make $50,000 though from that sale, from selling those
Yeah.
iPods, across and just selling them in bulk. I'm just saying that when you're online and things start taking off, you do find it's hard to try every opportunity when you're one person. But if you do have a lot of opportunities you want to try, it becomes easier if you're able to say that any additional opportunities, I might partner with someone on it so that they can drive
Yeah,
it.
of
But I
course.
just want to I want to see that idea out there. I just know I don't have enough time. You either partner
Mm.
or you hire a staff member, and then that's their job, is to do that thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. And like another thing I was like thinking about as well, like what are your thoughts on cryptocurrency and stuff? Because I know you were
Mm.
like doing a couple of, I saw some videos as well, like, you're doing a bit of crypto stuff. So I'm curious to get your thoughts on like, what's happening now, like, what do you think's gonna happen in the future, if that's like a viable
Yeah,
opportunity as well. Um,
absolutely. I mean, it is interesting. I kind of see it as similar to the internet. I mean, it's the internet has digitized information.
yeah,
This is digitizing currency. I mean, it's kind of weird in some ways that we do walk around with cash in our pocket when we could. And some people say, "Isn't currency already digitized? I've got a bank." I'm like, "Yeah, but the bank isn't your wallet. The bank is the
yeah,
bank. It's in the bank." Whereas cryptocurrency means you could have a digital wallet. It's like you are your own bank. It's inevitable that I mean, I feel like it's inevitable that there will have to be at least a few cryptocurrencies that work well long term. And I think they're here. I just think that there's been, and it was kind of expected in some ways. That's why I've been shorting the market a lot this year. Um, there
yeah,
has to be a washout of all of the scammy projects. There's too much money in projects that have too many problems, but when you're new, it's hard to notice all the problems. And the more you delve in, you start to see why there are very few crypto projects that are actually properly decentralized and are actually it's almost impossible runaway trains. So yeah, I do think that there's a big future for cryptocurrencies, but not necessarily um, a majority of them. So
yeah, of
Bitcoin,
course.
stuff like that. Yeah, and
Bitcoin, Ethereum, like the main ones. I mean, obviously, this is not financial advice by any means, but
no, not
like,
financial advice. They could also. I'm not. We've had obviously at the time of us talking right now, we've had the FTX saga.
yeah, gonna
Um,
mention that as well. So
but
yeah,
when the Lehman Brothers saga happened back in like 2008 or whenever it was, or back then anyway, it took 6 months after that before we found out how many other firms collapsed and so forth before you found the bottom. So I think it could be the same. We may be at the bottom, but I think it's more likely within 5 months from now because we've already had a month. We'll probably reach the bottom around then, and then we'll come into the next
mm,
halving, and things will go up from there. We'll probably have choppy action between now and then. It could fly up. It could fly up a lot. It could be a big bounce, but then it might go straight back down again, even lower. Like I feel like at the moment we haven't seen enough of that contagion play out. But once we do, and once you know that that contagion left is very limited, then it's just down to what who's invested in what and what then it becomes pretty clear it's going to be hard for there to be a major drop, and so it
yeah,
would probably start getting quite bullish.
yeah. No, it's just interesting. Like, we're talking about like the FTX drama. Like, that was definitely a black swan event that no one really expected. I mean, some people had their like, predictions
I
and
had my
stuff,
shorts
but
ready for it, to be honest. I had
oh yeah,
quite a lucky. Well, I don't know about lucky, but it's not luck, I guess, if you're expecting something. I didn't know it would be FTX that would collapse. I just
yeah,
knew I was shorting for it because I knew with Luna that with what happened there and how much you were seeing wiped out from different companies and how many companies were over $100 million in trouble. I was
mm,
just waiting for something to really pop. I didn't know what, but yeah, I did load up a lot of leverage shorts to because I thought something like that was going to happen, and then it did. So for me, I mean, it's luck, but it's not luck, and it's not anything to brag about. I don't want these things to happen. It's more like I look at it as I didn't cause it. I just see what's happened. Therefore, like you just got to sort of like take yourself out of the emotions of it. I don't want that to happen. I don't want things to go down. I'd rather be going long and buying and not leveraging. I'd rather be going forwards. It's just when something, everything was just made it inevitable. It was just so inevitable because I wasn't even sure it would be FTX. I thought it might be something else. I won't name specific currencies, but
Mm.
there are a few currencies that I thought it would be that ended up going down a lot because of FTX. But I thought they would go down because of their own problems that I knew about.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're ever in a bear market again in the future, don't short Bitcoin if you're shorting crypto. You short the you short that altcoin project that you know is a bit scammy and there's something wrong with it, and it's in a
Mm.
bubble. So
I think
that's what I was doing. I was finding ones that were in a bubble, and I would pick that one, and then that would be the one I'd short, and it would go further than Bitcoin would when the collapse happened.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest lesson just to like take away from all this drama with crypto is just to like take your money off the exchanges. Like, I think that's probably like the best thing that anyone can do and just either cash it out, so you
Unless you're
don't lose all your
shorting,
money,
yeah.
or do shorting as well. You can do a number of different things, but like just be like, aware of like the risk and stuff. Like even just have like a hardware wallet for an example, like, just
But
to get crypto off the exchanges,
but that's why I'd prefer a leverage short. Like some people say, like, why don't you just short, keep it simple, keep it a 1 to 1 or like closer to like keep it down, the risk level down. I keep it down low enough, but if you
Yeah.
leverage it, you don't need to have as much money on the exchange. So more of your money
Mm.
can be in your hardware wallet. It doesn't have to be on the exchange because, you know, I know there's always that little liquidation risk, but it's not that high because I don't do a 10x leverage anyway. So I
Yeah.
also tell everyone, though, getting into any form of investment, I always say to everybody, like, never have more than 5% of your income go into an investment. Because
Mm.
when you do move to investment, then that investment can become worth more. If you ever have 50% of your money in crypto, it should be because you put 5% in and that happened to 10x. Because
Yeah,
if it
exactly.
didn't,
Yeah.
then if it didn't, then you haven't achieved what you'd wanted anyway out of crypto. It hasn't, because why take the risk in something that's still fledgling if it can't 10x? If it does 10x, great. Now it's half your wealth is now crypto, and if it doesn't, it's okay because 95% of your wealth is doing what it used to. I think if you're ever going to overinvest in something, overinvest in yourself, like your own business or
Mm.
your own ads if you want to run ads, or your own, like, if you've got staff or anything, or training yourself like a business course that's going to teach you how to run a better online business, or invest in some cameras or something if you want to run a YouTube channel. Like investing in yourself
Yeah.
is like, it always pays off so much more reliably than any of those other kind of investments. Like the vast majority of people that I know that are successful, and I know some Bitcoin millionaires and so forth, but vast majority have done it by investing in themselves first.
Yeah. Of course. And like, speaking on that, like what would be like, in your opinion, like the best opportunity? Because it's, like you said, there's so many opportunities now on the internet. There's like Amazon FBA, affiliate marketing, crypto, drop shipping. I mean,
It,
it kind
it,
of can kind
it,
of feel
it
like
is hard to
overwhelming.
say
So
what's number one because it depends on the person. What I have noticed is that it's very important that you are it's somewhat enjoying or at least gaining a bit of self-satisfaction out of what you are doing, or you will procrastinate too much that you give up. So
hmm,
I would rather somebody be drop shipping physical products like gyros and stuff like that and having a ball
yeah, yeah,
than have them do affiliate marketing just because Mark Ling says that it's better, when maybe for me this might be 20% harder than the others, and I like affiliate marketing so I do it more. But for you, you might
hmm,
find yourself going, oh, last thing I want to do is be selling, you know like education products or online supplements or stuff. I want
yeah,
to sell like gaming supplies, or I want to sell video equipment and earn commissions from that. And if you're really going to enjoy that more, the drop shipping and physical products, and you're actually more likely to keep doing it, then that's a better path. So there are a
Mm.
few different opportunities out there, and there are combine that with a lot of different traffic sources. But definitely, like drop shipping, physical products, it's still pretty good. But I think it's better with the higher priced physical products these days than the lower price. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
easier to get a margin and do all right. Affiliate marketing is just going like gangbusters right now, and that's definitely a massive part of my business, probably over half of it. And then making and selling your own information products is big, but I definitely know that most people that have done well online with info products have made maybe their first 500,000 as an affiliate before they made their own info product. For me, I was about
yeah.
400K worth of affiliates commissions before I had made my first info product. But I have seen about 20% of people that I meet, they made their first info product sale before their first affiliate sale. So it can be done the other way. But they're always big opportunities. They don't sound like new ones, though, do they? They sound like ones that have been around for
Yeah.
a while. It's more the traffic method that becomes interesting, like whether or not you're running YouTube ads. Maybe right now are really hot, and last couple of years before that, it might have been Facebook ads. Before that, it was YouTube ads. Before that, it might have been SEO. You know what I mean? Like the traffic sources changed
So,
quite a bit. There's TikToks. There's
yeah,
obviously email marketing's been around for ages. There's chatbots. There's so many. That's kind of what has changed more so, and the quality of what you can produce in an online product if you are the product creator has just gone up and up and up with faster bandwidths, better cameras, um,
mm,
better training courses out there. Like I had to make it all up myself as to what I thought was good quality, and you get to see what I was trying to lead the way, but now sometimes I see other people's and go, "Oh, far, that's brilliant! What a good idea! Like, I love the way you filmed that. Like, we need to improve our filming or something else, And um, so yeah, there are. I still think that the niches themselves. I mean, they've been around for over 20 years. A lot of these, and they'll still be around in years to come. People always want to lose weight. They're always going to want to make more money. They're always going to want another relationship or to get better at
yeah, of
musical
course.
instruments.
100%. Yeah,
And they're always going to want to become fitter, healthier, and they're always going to have their hobbies, and buy
yeah.
stuff and buy presents for people. So like I know one of my friends made an online store just selling costumes and makes 4 million a year selling costumes, like
Yeah, it's
to go
crazy.
to
Yeah,
parties in, like
very good.
costumes, not just Halloween but all year round. There's
Yeah,
so many opportunities out there. But you'd probably want to. I like starting with digital products because then you don't have to ship anything.
yeah, yeah,
And in that sense, it's a lot easier. I'm starting my
yeah, of
kids
course.
in the school holidays, just about to start, starting my two oldest boys, helping them start an online business soon, and they're gonna look at mixing music and taking drone footage and stuff like that to sell private label rights to both the footage and also to like meditation tracks. So I'm teaching them how to make
Oh, wow.
meditation tracks, like the music and stuff, like using I don't know if you can see, like it's probably a bit of a mess here,
Oh, yeah,
like
I can
using
see.
like different audio
Yeah,
tools
yeah,
and stuff. They already know how to mix music and stuff like that, but how to
that's
do it
awesome.
like
Yeah,
meditation style. And
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
simple type product though to make. Might not sound
Mm.
simple to you guys, but it's simple. I don't find it too difficult, but for someone
It's the
else,
expertise,
simple
isn't
might
it?
be something that you're good at.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the like expertise, like that's the skills to create that like product and to provide value to people, right?
Yeah, and then how to sell it and stuff like that. And I said to them, well,
Yeah,
yeah,
of
you could
course.
sell these tracks. You totally can sell them, but you're going to be in school. You don't have time. So instead,
I mean,
why don't
start
you let other
early. You
people
can
sell the
start.
tracks and you just sell the rights to them? So yeah, you'll make
Yeah,
less.
yeah,
You might make less money, but at least you'll be making money because when it's private label rights that you're offering, the money made might be less than the person selling the damn tracks, but at least you'll be collecting your monthly fee from a bunch of people, as many members as you can get that want to keep getting your tracks. You just can have fun making these tracks as long as they're
yeah.
done very, very well to high quality. Like we were outside, like filming the rain with really high audio equipment. We were out
Yeah.
filming, recording, sorry, the sound, trying to make sure that everything is really like the level that people want to pay for and buy. As long as that level is high, like, I think this is an easier way. So that way you don't have to, be sitting there watching your marketing as diligently. And I think it's a good approach. Sorry, it's gone off on a tangent there, but it's just a little
Oh, it's
example.
all right.
There's so
Yeah,
many
no, it's
ideas
good.
out
Like,
there.
no, it's very good. Like, it's good that your kids are starting early as well. Like, I started, doing YouTube when I was like 12 out of all, ages,
Well, there
and
you
I
go. I
remember
should tell
just
them
like,
about that.
yeah, like I remember like I was just sitting there, like I was in like year six. That's what it's like in Australia. I don't know if it's different in the US or elsewhere throughout the world, but like I was just sitting there, like bored out of my mind in the classroom, and I was like, "Hey, I want to get YouTube views and subscribers." Like I didn't even care about money back then, so I just started uploading random stuff, and then I told you, I told you guys, watching, and as well as you, Mark, my story, like how I started making money off, playing
Mm,
Grand Theft Auto 5, right? So like it's good that, you can basically start like at any age really, so um there's no need to have like a limited belief, in terms of like your age.
no.
Now getting back to another question I had in mind, and that's going to be because we're talking about like the different types of business models and stuff. But
Yeah.
like what would be one of the best traffic sources that people should like focus on? Because as you know, there's
There,
SEO on Google,
there
there's
are a
paid
lot
traffic.
of good traffic sources. I mean, you could be running a Facebook group, and some people do extremely well with that. I mean, I do think that video is a very, very good source of traffic right now. Like
Yeah.
YouTube, TikTok, it could be Reels on Instagram. I know we know some people that live not too far from us that they have a lot of subscribers, make a full time income, and it's all from Instagram videos
Mm.
in the health niche, in the keto niche. So, like, there's all sorts of stuff. I think video potentially across at least YouTube and then spawn from there to the other sources. I think that's definitely a really, really good one, but it's not essential. And you don't have to have your own face. Some of my channels have no face on them. They literally use stock footage in the background, but they have some pretty good scripts that, on
Yeah.
different topics, and that can go really well. So um, for those that don't like having their own face on there, you don't have to, although you can, but you don't have to. So video's one for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's paid ads like Google ads, stuff like that is really good. So text based ads, they can be on
Yeah.
Facebook ads as well. They can be great. Um, Paid YouTube ads go very, very well. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people like to start with organic traffic, in which case, maybe the simplest place for a lot of people to start is just doing YouTube Shorts and Instagram Shorts, because then okay, I can do it in under 60 seconds each time, and test it out and see how I'm going without absolutely overcommitting your time until you get a feel for it.
Yeah, I mean the shorts opportunity right now is being absolutely insane. Like, I'm like you look at like characters like Andrew Tate and all these other like big influencers, like they're all blowing up because of like short style content on like TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. It really is like a big opportunity now. And as of recording this, like next year, you're going to be able to like monetize YouTube Shorts as well, like at a higher level in terms of like ad revenue as well. So I feel like it's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow.
I think
For
it
people
still
that want to
brings
take
you
advantage of
visitors
that.
to your channel anyway, though. So it's still helpful in that regard.
It's gonna be like kind of be like a bit of a. It's like I like to look at it as like funnel, like you said, like funneling like traffic to like your main videos, and then just like because a lot of people who are going to be consuming your short type of content are going to subscribe, and there's going to be like a chance they can like consume like your long form content as well.
Yeah, they might on their phone see some of your content, and because they've watched it for long enough. The algorithm now, next time they're on YouTube on their TV, the algorithm will show your main video, and maybe they
Yeah,
watch that,
exactly.
and next thing you
Yeah.
know, that's what's monetized. But um, so even if the shorts themselves don't do that well, it doesn't matter in of itself. Not every single individual video has to be the one that makes the money if it's just part of your ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean it's like free advertising, so like I don't see like any like con with it. Of course, like, as long as you like have a viable monetization strategy like with your main content, but yeah, definitely an amazing opportunity. Now, before we wrap this up, I like to like have a couple of questions that I ask people in terms of like what would be like, the three best tips you'd like offer, people to not only succeed with like business, but just for like with life in general and stuff. Like as a like an entrepreneur, as someone who's worked in like a multitude of different niches and stuff, you have like a bunch of
Yeah,
knowledge in
yeah.
general. Like what would be like your three
Well, no,
biggest
no,
takeaways or
I think,
things you could recommend to people watching here this interview today?
number one is make sure that you get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and remember
Mm,
that most of the success in life comes from stepping outside your comfort zone for a longer period than what other people are willing to do. So
yeah, of course.
that uncomfortable period may not be at the start of something. It might be 4 weeks in. Quite often that's where it is. So that's where a lot of people give up. And they're like, I had to go at drop shipping. I had to go at affiliate
Yeah,
marketing and it didn't work. Well, what didn't work? How long did you go for? And they were like, oh, 6 weeks in, and then this happened or that happened. And they didn't do everything they could to get over that obstacle. That's the uncomfortable
yeah,
bit that you need to live in and be a can-do person. I can, when challenges arrive, I realize that's a natural barrier that's stopping other people succeed, but I will get past that barrier. I'll find a way. That barrier is kind of helpful. It's annoying for me right now, but not annoying when I get past it, because that's what helps keep some other people out. So there's not too many people
don't give
doing it.
up, guys.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
And then number two, just realize that most things take, not most things, but some things take 3 times as long as you first thought. So
Mm,
it doesn't mean the money's not still there. It can just take a lot longer than you first thought. Sometimes things happen exactly as planned, but when they don't, it's important that you know how to see something all the way to the end. A lot of people know how to see things to the 75% stage, or what they think is the 95% stage, and they're like, oh, I was almost finished and I just couldn't get this last bit done. It's like they weren't almost finished. They were at the 30% stage. They didn't realize that
yeah,
they still had this, and this to do. And that was the problem, was their initial expectation of how long it took was 3 times as long as they first thought. And that sort of got them out of it, because they wanted to be making money in a month and it actually took 90 days, or it actually took 180 or whatever. That's part of it. So secondly, like, just realize and be patient with yourself, and embrace those stubborn obstacles, because realize it might take 3 times as long as you first thought. I definitely have found, though, that the ability to either to systematize is very, very important. So to either delegate
mm,
or get software that helps you do the things that you procrastinate at, because that is the biggest full stop on a business, is procrastination that leads into not doing it. Because if
yeah,
you do everything that you would really like to do, you'd probably do rather well. Some
yeah,
things
of
you just
course.
can't bear to do, that thing like search engine optimization or something, if that's the thing, or something else. And you don't have to do all of those things, because there are different paths. But sometimes when you've settled on a path, there's something uncomfortable you have to do. So you either want to pay someone else to do it, you're going to find some software that makes it really, really easy, or you are going to
Yeah,
allocate time and you are going to do it no matter what until you've done it. But one way or
mm,
another, you need to find a way to do it, and to systematize it. And if something's hard, but you have to do it yourself and there's no software that can help you, then you want to make it easier by at least templating it for yourself, like going, okay, next time I do this, this is my template. I've got to do this, I've got to do that, and you fill in the blanks, and then that'll make it easier on yourself, like mentally, like you're not having to rethink the blueprint every time. So there,
yeah.
that's the third one.
No, I like that a lot. Valuable advice, and I think like a lot of you guys watching this can definitely take that on board. One more thing actually. What's your favorite book? Because I see like a bunch of books behind you, and I always like to ask people that as
It's
well.
not even like, I don't even know if that's 10% of the books. There's there's a lot. That's pretty hard. That is a pretty hard question, to be honest. I would say one of the best ones that I have read would probably be, maybe a long time ago, was The Game by Neil Strauss.
Okay.
It's all about a secret society of pickup artists.
Oh yeah.
And the reason I love it is the way it's written is very much in a similar format from a business perspective to how video sales letters are written. and
Mm.
it's someone's talking and I thought this and then I did that and I did this and then blah 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 said and then such and such said this and it, but you can picture the whole scene and then it would spell out the scene as well and but then it's very conversational. It's really vivid language. I loved it. Was written. It was a really interesting story, like a bit of a hook to it, a bit of sort of a outside the box kind of way of thinking. Like it's not like a typical storyline because it was a true story. So I quite
Yeah.
liked that. I guess that would be um, that would be one. Hard to say though. There's just been like so many great books. I mean,
Yeah,
one of
there's
them's
plenty of good
called
books.
"Choose Yourself" by where's I can't even see where that uh, that one is. I just can't remember how to pronounce the author's name, so I'll just Google it.
That's all right.
Choose
It's all good.
Yourself by James Altucher. That's the hard name,
Okay,
Altucher. I knew it was James. I
sure.
thought it was James Altucher. James Altucher. Yeah, it's not a very well-known book at all, but it resonates very well with me. I already had that mantra, maybe not those exact words, but don't wait to be chosen in life for something. I didn't wait for someone to suddenly notice that I could be good enough to make an online language learning product or a dog training product or something. I didn't wait. You just choose yourself. If you think you can do a good job of something, don't wait to be chosen. Go ahead and do it. If you
Mm.
know, like you think that you've got a great idea for something at your work that's going to help out. If you're in a position to be able to do so, just go ahead and do it and surprise people and
Yeah.
make a difference. If you anywhere in life that you can choose yourself without getting um, legally and not pissing off your employers, of course, I'm not going to say like go repaint the McDonald's sign if you work at McDonald's, like, but within
Yeah, yeah.
reason. Um, if you've got great ideas and stuff, don't wait for someone to suddenly notice you. Get out there and do it. If you're good at filming, don't expect to only have on your portfolio stuff that you have filmed for clients and don't wait for the perfect client. Go out there and go, you know what, I could do cinematic movie openings. I wish that I could get hired for that. Then go film 10 of them. Make 10 movie openings, choose yourself, put them on there. If they're in your reel, you're more likely to get that role than if you waited for someone to choose you on your potential.
Yeah, no, of course. No, I definitely appreciate the book recommendations. If you guys want to learn more about Mark Ling, we're going to provide some socials down below in the video description for you, so you can learn more about Mark and connect with him there. And yeah, thanks for hopping on the show. On the video podcast, and yeah, definitely appreciate
Thanks for having me.
talking with you. And yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, everybody.